May 16th on a Thursday. It's 4:20 in the afternoon, and this is Tech Tales 13. Today's been a pretty easy day. I had work on my list of things to do, and I just kind of decided to blow it off today and take it easy. So I had some quiet time through the day. I watched some YouTube videos. I went to have lunch with my dad and my brothers. We've had some crazy weather today. It is raining now. It wasn't raining when I pressed the record button. Got a lot of wind out there, and I'm hearing some thunder. A few minutes ago, well, let's see, no, it's longer than a few minutes ago, I just got off of a 54-minute long client support phone call and remote connection to 3 of his computers. He called asking for me to come out there tomorrow and configure one of his computers for printing to a particular printer. And I said, well, I might be able to do that remotely. We just get it done right now. And so I connected remotely and did successfully do that. It was a little strange though, because the computer oh boy, there's some thunder and heavy rain. I was about to choose to go out for a walk instead of doing this recording right now. I'm glad I chose the recording. So he wanted to be able to print from a computer that is technically a server. It's a Windows 2008 server operating system. They don't really use it as a server for the other workstations. They only have it because of a piece of software that they have that requires a server operating system. Well, he wants to have interns from our local college come in to be able to get some work experience, and he wants to have them actually work from the server, and that's okay since it's not really functioning as a server. But that did bring up a little bit of a challenge to get it to do what he wanted to do. So the first part of the challenge was that the printer he wanted it to print to is within a few feet of that computer, but it's connected to a different computer. Man, I don't think we've had rain that heavy here for years. That's big raindrops. Anyway, he said it was connected by USB cable to one of the other computers, and he followed the cable to be able to be sure he was telling me which computer is connected to. And I asked him, when I connected to that computer, the one that has the USB cable for the printer, I found that it was not a shared printer. And I know that we recently installed that computer because his old computer went bad. In fact, this is Don at a construction company. I've talked to you about him in one of the earliest Tech Tales videos. But it wasn't a shared printer, and he told me that he is able to print to it from his digitizer computer. He has 2 computers, one that we'll call his main computer, the other one we'll call his digitizer computer. He has a digitizer pad that he can use a pen with and put a blueprint on it and be able to interact with the software on screen with this plotter digitizer that he uses on a board. He says that he can print to that printer without knowing that his main computer is not set up as a shared print for sharing the printer. And I asked him, is there another cable coming from the printer, maybe a Ethernet cable? And no, there isn't. So it's a little strange to me that he was able to print. So I just let go of that quandary, and I tried first to download from Epson the full printer software that my notes indicate that I had used on his digitizer computer, thinking that it was finding that printer through the network somehow. Well, it turns out that that software would not install on the Windows Server operating system. So I went to plan B. I connected to his main computer, Don's main computer, and configured that printer to be a shared printer from his computer. Then I went back to my remote connection for the server, pressed the Windows key and the letter R, that brings up the run command line, then 2 backslashes, then the name of his computer, and press enter. And that brings up a window of all the shared resources on his computer. Then just double click on that printer and it successfully installed the printer driver. I printed a test page. Then I asked him to print the schedule, a work schedule, construction work schedule from the software that they use on that server. Try actually printing what you want to print, because I was concerned that it might not come out right. And I overheard him telling his assistant to just print on 8.5 by 11 paper. So when that succeeded, I then told them, if you're going to print on a different size printer, I want you to test that now, because I'm concerned about this. Because I was concerned that printing to that shared printer without the full driver on the server might be an issue for any unusual, non-standard type of printing. Took them a little while to figure out how to do that. Apparently this is a printing task that they don't routinely do, and it worked fine. The next thing that came up was Don asked me about being able to print to a PDF file from that server. And there's currently no, there's the thunder, I don't know if you can hear it. There's currently no software on that server that would provide for that. I did a little checking around and was not finding what I considered to be a good solution under the circumstances. So then I asked him, Don, is this something that's going to be done regularly? Printing to PDF file from the server? I suspected it wasn't going to be, and he said no, it's just going to be used for the intern coming in. I want to be able to print to PDF so we can open on another computer and look at it. And we discussed actually his idea was to go ahead and print to the Epson printer and then run it through the copy machine to scan it in as a PDF. Since it's not going to be done very often, and it's not really a skill that he needs to train the intern for, why not? So I said that that's probably a better choice than paying me to find a way to make this happen, because the server operating system really never was intended or designed that somebody was going to be using it as a routine workstation. So there's some challenges to using it as such, and he accepted that, and the conclusion was that they'll just go ahead and try that for a while and see how it works out. Man, I'm glad I didn't go out for a walk instead of giving you this update. Well, I think that's probably a shorter than normal update, which is just fine, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.